Well, here's my project for right now. This is what I'm putting off the Crown Vic for. Brought this in. I was going to look at the subframe bolts because I thought maybe they had loosened up because it was kind of handling a little bit funny. So I jacked it up, and when I jacked it up, I noticed coolant was running down in the back as soon as I jacked it up back in the engine. So I went ahead and tried to pop the hood. And of course the latch was all gummed up and frozen and whatever, and I ended up cracking my grill and the grill shell, so I had to take those off. Finally got the hood open, and let's see, where's my light? There it is. And of course I got to looking, and I don't know if you can see that real well, but it's nice and wet. I got a nice little coolant leak coming from under the throttle body, so I'll have to rip that apart, see if I can fix it for free. I do have another engine laying around with parts on it, and then I got another intake manifold off of a different car, so hopefully I can make something work. But right now I guess I just got to rip this sucker apart and see exactly where it's coming from. I have a pretty good idea, but we're going to find out. Well, I just checked the subframe bolts while I had it in here and jacked up, and they were fine, all tight. So I think I might just have a warped rotor or something simple like that, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, first thing I got to do is take off this little air box, and then I'll take off all that crap there and just see if I can see the leak a little bit better and see what I got to deal with. So air box goes first. Well, I didn't realize my air box was broke until I went to take it off. And then of course I get in here and I find there's been an animal living in my air filter. That's lovely. I think I got another one laying around, so we'll just swap it out. I think I got another air box too. We'll look for that. But I got the thing off, and figured I'd show you what happens to cars that have been in Minnesota for a long time. Well, you can see all this white stuff, that's salt on top of rust, and there's a big hole right there, and it's just rusting away right over here, kind of by the shock tower, but I really don't care. What worries me is the brake line's rusting out, but they haven't done it yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. I got to worry about my coolant leak. It's not that bad of a leak so far. It either it's not leaking bad, or it just started leaking, because I've got a full radiator, and there is coolant in there. It's a little lower than it should be, but there's still some left in the reservoir. And I looked in the oil, and the oil's fine. There's no coolant in there, so it hasn't done any damage there, which is good. But I figure I'll fix it while I got it out, or while I got it in here. So I guess next step is to take all that crap off. Fun. Well, I've got the throttle body off. It looks like it was leaking right in here. So I bought a new gasket. Go ahead and clean this up and put that on. But Jesus Christ, the guy who designed this, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I mean, you've got this little thing in the back, which is like a nut slash sleeve that goes all the way in here. Then you've got a stud screwed into it, and then you put a nut on top of that. And of course, that little skinny thing you can hardly get a wrench on. You know, it just makes no sense to me. Why wouldn't you just use a bolt with a nut? Why would you go that extra mile to screw people over? I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. And then you can't get in there hardly to take them out. But yeah, enough of my bitching. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up, and then pull that gasket out, clean it up, or put a new one in, and then should be good to go. Hopefully it won't leak no more, because it's dry underneath here. It was just leaking right on the bottom somewhere. So hopefully that'll fix it. Well, I got it all cleaned up. New gaskets in there. Got my throttle body cleaned up a little bit. Got some of that corrosion off of there, so hopefully it'll seal up real nice. And no, I guess I get to put it back on and fight with them lousy fucking bolts again. But we'll put it together. Hopefully it'll seal up real nice and I won't have to do it again. Well, I got the throttle body back on. It wasn't as big of a pain in the ass as I thought it was going to be. So now I just got to hook up throttle cables and a little bracket, or that cover thing that goes over top of them. And the air filter, I got to see if I got another one of them. That's almost back together. I'll fire it up and make sure it works. Well, I got it all back together enough to start it, so I'll go ahead and fire it up, and you guys can watch and yell if there's any coolant spraying out of it. Well, I don't see any coolant dripping. Noisy as a son of a bitch though when you ain't got the air box on. Well, there we go. All done, back together. I didn't have another air filter, so I didn't bother looking for another box or anything. I'll have to go buy one, but not today. Not leaking as far as I know, so I'll probably take it for a drive tomorrow. Just make sure, but I think we got it.